Don't date German men because German men do this. Don't date Albanian men. Albanian men do this. Don't you know men are men no matter what they are, where they come from, their race or anything? Let's get started. Exotical Barbies, you need something to unpack here. Why do we think that a whole certain type of ethnicity, race is going to treat you worse or better? You unknowingly are putting them on a hierarchy. I'm here to say, and I'm gonna hold your hand with a napkin in between with a strong grip. Men are the same everywhere. Okay? And I'm not saying they're all the same, but I am saying that one is not gonna treat you better than the other. Okay? Because last time I checked, I hear women's stories from all across the world. They do the exact same thing. You gonna have men that move you from Russia. You gonna have men that move you from Idaho. You thinking that you're going to you know what I'm saying? Now, with that being said, you can choose to not date a certain, like, especially if you grew up, like, for example, if you're half black and half white, you grew up in all, like, in the black space and whatnot, you're like, I don't want to date them because they're not my type. You don't have to. And you don't have to, even if you grew up with them. Let's say, like, sorry, you heard that clicking noise. You don't have You're not racist or prejudiced if you don't want to date a guy that's not within your realm, you know what I'm saying? But for you to say, oh, Korean men gonna treat you bad or they gonna manipulate, honey, that's not like men everywhere. I mean, it's no different, you know? And these type of women kind of remind me of the talking point of like, I don't date good looking men because they know they're good looking. I'm gonna date me an ugly man. You know what I'm saying here? I feel as though we need to unpack why do we put it in a box and dismiss it, if that makes sense. Don't get me wrong. You're not wrong if you say, like, well, in their culture, they mostly do that and stuff, and that's why you don't choose. That's not a bad thing to say. But for you to sit up here and say, like, kind of dismiss them all in a group and then try to put, like, for example, let me get an example, okay? Oh, I don't want to date black men because they lie, cheat, and steal. I want to date me a white man because they know how to treat you right. They have that good money, they have that good insurance. You unknowingly stereotype a whole group and put them on a hierarchy. Ooh. And that's not a good thing. I don't know if you know that, you know? And I understand your experience because your experience is valid. Where he's like, oh, for example, for me, I don't want to date an African guy. I'm not gonna say all African guys the same, but I kind of noticed like the certain pattern, the things like that. I'm not saying all of them, and I'm definitely not gonna tell women not to date them, not because they're all horrible or they're all this and that. But I know from my experience and from what I know and what they stand by stuff, it doesn't fit me. You see what I'm saying here? Rather than saying, oh, I ain't dating no African guy. I want me a white guy that do this or that. You know what I'm saying? Anyway, this is probably going to be a short video due to the fact that it's not really much to say here. But if you guys have a story time or you guys notice things of people saying that, because I just realized that I saw a TikTok video of a woman. She made this video, but sadly, I couldn't download it and show it to you guys. But she basically said the exact same thing that I'm saying. And one thing I noticed is that she's also said that once you learn that men are men no matter where you go, the more peace you will have. And as long as you have your standard of what you want in a guy, you're going to be more peace. You know what I'm saying here? It's not going to be, no, just like throw all of them in the trash type way. But I would definitely say though, there's nothing wrong with like learning like, oh well, I noticed that like how I mentioned African guys, like, oh, like mostly in their culture they do this one or you notice things, you know what I'm saying? You know, you don't fit your lifestyle or you're not simply just try, that's not a bad thing. But to sit here and dismiss that whole group of people don't do the same things as the group of people that you try and compare with is not a good thing. Anyways, I don't know if I like explain it right, am I saying it right? Have you seen this happen before to other women that said this and how it turned out? And yeah, what do you think? Tell me how you feel. How's it going? Anyways, bye, Exotical Barbies.